It's honestly hard to believe that America is spiraling this fast. It's also incredibly hard to watch. My grandfathers on both sides of my family both served in the military at different times. They both fought for this country's freedoms. And I honestly am disappointed in what America is becoming under President Donald Trump. Trump is continuously bordering on fascistic and authoritarian tactics. Democracy is constantly under attack, and now the Trump administration just stooped to a whole new low. That's right, because the Trump administration and Trump's DHS have issued a chilling threat to members of Congress. How's it going, everybody? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, we're going to get to this chilling threat in just a moment, but first, are you guys aware that Donald Trump is currently in talks of suspending habeas corpus? Habeas corpus is a fundamental legal principle that ensures individuals in custody can challenge the legality of their detention in court.
Well, the Constitution is clear, and that, of course, is the supreme law of the land, that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So I would say that's an option we're actively looking at. Look, a lot of it depends on whether the courts do the right thing or not.
Now, CNN is reporting that Trump is actually talking behind the scenes about possibly suspending this legal precedent. But last and certainly not least is the fact that Trump can't even actually do this without congressional approval.
It has been almost universally held and commented on that Congress has the authority to suspend habeas corpus. Not Stephen Miller, not the president, but Congress. And Congress has not done so here. And so Stephen Miller is wrong on the law. He's wrong on the facts. But what he is he is the representative of a deranged authoritarian who believes he can exercise all power. And we as lawyers and as members of the media and responsible society need to call it out for what it is and never back down.
Yeah, so Trump is definitely going to face roadblocks here, but still the fact he's even looking into this is deeply concerning. I mean, who knows, maybe soon enough we'll all just get locked up and shipped off to Alcatraz. But I'm not really surprised because Trump is a dumb person. He recently said this about plastic straws.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion, they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws. I think it's okay. And I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean. Okay.
I literally cannot believe this. Like, it's toddler brain. But worse, it's toddler brain with concussion. But what's even more concerning than the fact that Trump is clearly just incredibly stupid is the fact that Trump is incredibly stupid and aggressive. That's right, the moment you've been waiting for, as Trump's DHS has made a chilling arrest threat to members of Congress. This all revolves around the recent arrest of the Newark mayor, who was arrested outside of an ICE detention facility. Now, luckily, he has already been released. However, it hasn't stopped Trump's DHS spokesperson from appearing on CNN and issuing incredibly dire warnings. Take a look.
What happened is that these members of Congress, including the mayor as well, and a mob of protesters, they stormed the gate and actually entered the first security checkpoint. This put law enforcement at risk, and this actually put the detainees as well at risk. If any official, including these members of Congress, want to enter the facility and take a tour, DHS is more than accommodating, but just because you're a member of Congress does not mean you can break the law, trespass, put law enforcement at risk, and storm the detention facility.
So, as you said here today and in your statement, that they stormed the gate and broke into the detention center, according to the statement. Was anybody else arrested other than the mayor of Newark?
There were multiple people arrested. And Victor, I think that we should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Who has the video?
ICE does, and we will be releasing that very shortly.
Okay. Let's talk about the facility, because what the mayor says, and he's been saying for several days, is that you all don't have the proper permitting, or at least the facility owned by Geo Group, a private company that's contracted with the federal government, does not have the proper permitting, the certificate of occupancy, and there are some violations. To that, you say what?
That is flat out false. That is just political gamesmanship. We have the proper permitting. We've gone through proper inspections. It's a joke. And by the way, he should not, this is a guy who is going and storming an ICE detention facility. He's putting detainees at risk. He's putting law enforcement at risk. He's joined by a mob of people who have said we should end ICE. This is nothing more than political games, and we're not playing.
So there's a member of Congress, LaMonica McIver, who says that she told USA Today that ICE asked the mayor to leave. He did. And from the video that I've seen, when he was taken into custody, he was on public property. He was no longer on the private property of Geo Group. So if he was asked to leave and then he complied, why then take him into custody?
Whether you are a civilian, a mayor, or a member of Congress, if you are storming an ICE detention facility and putting law enforcement and detainees at risk, you can bet that we will arrest you and you will face the law. You will face justice. These other members of Congress will as well, as will the other protesters, some of which were arrested.
First of all, where was this lady's energy? Where was her fury about the cops that were beat up and battered by the January 6th protesters? She literally works for a guy who pardoned people who beat up police officers. Now she's up here trying to morally grandstand about how bad these Democrats were because they allegedly shoved a police officer. Even more so, she keeps repeating that they were inside the building or they stormed the building or something. We all saw the video. He was arrested outside the detention center. So what's stopping Trump's DHS from just arbitrarily deciding that you stormed that ICE detention center, so you now need to be arrested? These are the kinds of threats that Democrats in Congress are currently under. At this point, I think it's clear. Donald Trump knows he is losing America. He is losing this battle, and he's losing the favor and approval of everyone. It seems that Trump understands the only way to get rid of criticism isn't to improve himself, but to threaten people and advocate for censorship.